Carolina, Georgia, Minneapolis, Phoenix, Maryland, Ohio, Taiwan. We have you guys calling in from around the world, South Africa, another Texas. Good day, everyone. Super excited that each and every one of you are here today. So good morning and happy Monday. I'm Chris Baum, VP of Global Sales, and today is a special day. Why is it special? Because I declared it was a special day before I put my feet on the floor. Okay, so this weekend, I hit the reset button. I realigned with my why, my goals, and my time, and I am re-energized. And the reason I'm re-energized is because I just went through all of those steps, and I have walked into this week with a new sense of my purpose, my goals, my why, and that has a ripple effect on those around you. So reasons reap results. So say it with me. Reasons reap results, right? The difference that makes the difference is always action. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in here with us today, for taking the action to be here to learn more about Akashx. So many of you already know our guest speaker. He's a man who started off as a rep, became an 8-figure earner, right? I bet you he had some reasons and some motivation behind accomplishing that. And as you all know, he's passionate about helping Bitcoin go mainstream. So please welcome back the one and only Cliff Braun. Cliff, if you're there, turn on your camera, say hello to everyone that is tuning in from around the world.
Well, there we go. Perfect.
Hey, Cliff.
Nice to see so many people on the call and, from all over the place. Or isn't it funny that we still say, nice to see so many people on the call? It's not a call, it's a Zoom. Nice to see so many people on the Zoom. Hey, Cliff. Hey, Tanya. How's it going? Wow, exciting stuff happening with Bitcoin, right? The highs and the lows and the drama. It's like the symphony, the crashing of the cymbals and the drums. I have Bitcoin all the way down to 43,000, 44,000. Now it's back up to 48,000. I feel like the next stop could be like 70, 75, even 80,000. But we've got a new high for the floor. So just a lot of interesting things happening. And, me and Chris, we always get a chance to talk for like 5 or 10 minutes before you guys jump on. And we were just talking about some of the misconceptions that people have about Bitcoin. And, maybe a lot of people, even in MDC, probably have this misconception that they think, it's too late for me to get into Bitcoin. It's $45,000 now. I missed it. Well, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. It gets divided up into 100 million Satoshis, like 100 million little slices of pizza. And you could just buy a slice of pizza. You could buy a pepperoni. You could just buy a little bit of sauce. I mean, you could buy $10 of Bitcoin. So a lot of people have this limiting belief that they feel like they have to buy a whole coin. Now, granted, it is nice to own a whole coin. I can remember when Bitcoin was really getting up there and I was like, oh man, I'm glad I've got, a few of these coins. But sometimes it's nice to even start with another coin, like maybe start with Ethereum or start with, there are other coins. If you've only got like $1,000 to invest, and again, you're not investing with Akashx, you're investing into cryptocurrency, then maybe some of these altcoins are a good idea because they usually go up after Bitcoin. But what this webinar is really about is going to be the functionalities of the platform and how you guys can buy crypto, sell crypto, use crypto, spend crypto. But before I get into that, which I will, I just wanted to talk, a little bit about how cool Bitcoin is and just the whole cryptocurrency industry. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing that, most people, again, have a limiting belief that they're too young or they're too old or they don't have enough money to invest. And they're probably right most of the time. If you want to buy a house, that's a big commitment. You got to have a lot of money. Oh my gosh, I wish you guys could see what I can see. There's a ton of bees out here. I'm going to close my window. I'm at home in Colombia, my favorite place in the world, but I definitely don't want to get stung. It is an exotic place. But with cryptocurrency, what's so cool is, someone who's retired, a college student, a waiter, a waitress, an actor, they can invest $500, $1,000. I mean, I started with $200 and my portfolio has, gone through the roof over the years. So it's really cool that you can start small And, a lot of times the question I get from people is, well, how much money should I put in? Never invest more than you can afford to lose, right? And so I just think like, the money that you were going to spend going out, or your beer money, or you were going to buy a new purse, probably smarter to put your money in a store of value that historically has been going up every year since creation, since 2008. It's just amazing how well Bitcoin has done over the years. But I want to talk about the platform. So hold on. I'm going to try to share my screen. Let's see if I can share it. Share computer sound, optimize. No, I think you have to share it on your side, Chris. I'm logged in, but for some reason it won't let me share the screen.
All right, let me see. I just want to make sure you have permissions. All right, you should be good to screen share. Will it let you screen share?
No. Well, I hit share and then it just pulls up this white box. Mike says give permission.
Mike says give permission. I said, I promise, Mike, I did.
You're like a kid again. I need permission. My brother and I took this acting class, and at the end of the class, the acting coach, this guy Daryl, Ivana Chubik's acting class in Hollywood, he's like, does anybody need validation, for parking? And my brother's like, I think that's why we're all here. We're all looking for a little more validation. Oh, you got, no. Hold on. What?
I can pull it up. It says you have permissions, but I don't know why it's not working. But let me pull it up, and then we'll roll.
Okay, cool. I met with a friend for lunch from London who was actually in town here yesterday, and we were talking, and he was like, what's the best way that you could explain the Akashx platform? Like, explain it to someone that doesn't understand anything. And this is really my favorite way to explain it. It's like having the exchange and the banking part and the card, 3 different entities all under the same roof. And I think that's what makes this platform so cool is you can buy and sell crypto. You've got the banking aspect. You can wire money out, wire money in, pay bills, and you've got the card solution. Whereas normally when you're new getting into crypto, you're going to have like Chase Bank, you're going to have Coinbase, and you're going to have BitPay or WireX or whichever card solution you choose. But you've got 3 different companies that all have to communicate and they all have to make money. So they're all charging you fees and it's really slow. What if you could have all 3 of those under the same roof? It would be faster to communicate, there would be less fees, and everything would be smoother and easier. So who doesn't want faster, smoother, and easier? When I ran across this platform, I was blown away with it. And it's kind of like one of those things where you didn't know you needed it until you have it, and then you can't live without it. For me, it's so awesome when Bitcoin goes up that I'm able to just go and sell some Bitcoin. The cash immediately is in my account. I push it to my card and I can spend it or pull it out of the ATM. You can't do that with these other platforms. And a lot of times these other platforms, they might look on the outside, or they might look at first like they're cheaper because they say, oh, it's free to join. There's nothing free. Every exchange is making money. Every time you buy, every time you sell, every time there's mining fees when you send. It's like there's little hidden fees everywhere. With this platform, everything is very transparent. So sometimes somebody will say to me, oh, it looks like it's cheaper, on this platform. Well, it's really not once they add in all of their fees. And those fees, they're really good at hiding them. They come in all over the place. So if we can, okay, can you pull up the platform? Chris?
Yes, it is opening up right now.
I see Josh's family, and they're beautiful, but I don't see any Bitcoin.
There it is.
Sweet, here we are. Okay. So again, for people that are new to crypto, you're not going to really realize how awesome this is because you didn't have to go through all the pain and all the struggles that the rest of us went through, having our banking window open, having the card solution open, window open, and having the exchange, and having to deal with these 3 different people. And it creates lag times and more fees. Having everything under one roof is truly unique. And somebody asked me recently, is anybody else doing this? Not that I know of. Now that I'm a little older, I'm a lot more careful with my answers. No, we're the only one doing it. I don't know, maybe someone started it yesterday. But as far as I know, this is the only platform that has everything all under the same roof like that, which is so freaking cool. Because the other thing is, like, when I started to mine a lot of Ethereum, I had like an Ethereum a day coming in. And then when I wanted to sell it, I would have to sell it through Coinbase. And eventually they shut down your bank account. A lot of the banks don't want you buying and selling and dealing with and using crypto. It's almost like Blockbuster hated Netflix. There's definitely like a beef between the banking industry and the crypto world. But here's the thing. Crypto is probably not going to replace cash. And so they're going to need to coexist for a long time, potentially forever. So the really smart banks are the banks like this eBank that's decided, you know what, we're going to embrace crypto and we're going to work with it because we don't want to end up like Blockbuster. So let's go through the platform, okay? The first thing you have is accounts. Essentially what you're doing is it's like you're signing up for a checking account. It's an e-bank, so it's a little different, which means it can do a lot of things your regular bank can't do. But it's basically like you're signing up for a private bank account in London, your own checking account, and you click on accounts. Okay, yeah, go ahead and click on accounts. And right now what you'll see is you'll see a US dollar wallet. Eventually you're going to have multiple different currencies and you'll be able to move money back and forth in and out of different currencies, essentially trading Forex within your own account. So that's a feature that you guys will have coming soon. So like, for example, let's say that, let's say the British pound goes way down. Well, you take $1,000, move it over into a pound, and then it goes back up, and then you move the money back, and now you've got more dollars than when you initially started. So that's something kind of cool. I always liken this to, it's almost like a James Bond 007 bank account. I mean, it's like, your regular normal online banking is just like checkings and savings. Yay. This is so much more robust. There's so many more options, and we'll show you some of those options. So this is where you have what we call your currency wallets, okay? So that would be right there, your USD currency wallet. And right below it, that's your account number. And that's how you can send money back and forth to each other, like member-to-member transfers for free. But let's click on cards. Got my nifty little card here. And this is where you guys will be able to order your cards and upgrade your cards. And there's a couple different options. There's plastic, there's metal, there's gold-plated metal. And you guys will love these cards. They're really super cool. You go to a coffee shop, pull it out and pay. And people are like, wow, I've never seen that before. How does one upgrade? Oh, I can't read the full question. I'll answer all the questions at the end. But this is the card section, okay? So now go down and click on crypto. And this is the section I'm going to take a little bit longer on because I want you guys to really understand it. These are all your different cryptocurrency wallets. You've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, TrueUSD, Litecoin, EOS, USDC, BAT, Paxos, and Tether, okay? So you've got lots and lots of options. Now, I'm kind of like a Bitcoin maximist. Like most of my portfolio is in Bitcoin, but I do have some altcoins, but I don't go crazy trying to always get rich quick, finding like the newest altcoin. I get text messages every day from people. Oh my God, have you heard of Polkadot? Oh my God, have you heard of Riot? Oh my God, have you heard of Raven? Yes, I've heard of all of them, but I don't have time to study every altcoin that pops up. And a lot of these coins are just kind of pump and dumps. Like there's a whole bunch of press about it. The value goes way up, then everybody sells it, and everybody else kind of loses. I try to stick to the more famous altcoins, and that's one of the things I like about this platform is that all of these are very trusted coins. It's not poo-poo coins or those little crazy ones. So this is where you'll have your wallets. Okay. Now let's do this. Let's click on Bitcoin, and I'm going to show you guys first off how to receive cryptocurrency from somebody, because this is such a new world. It's almost like I totally remember, and I use this example all the time. My freshman year in college was when I got my first email, and I had no idea how to send an email or how it worked or anything. So don't be embarrassed if you've never sent Bitcoin or you've never received Bitcoin. That's what these webinars are for. What you'll see over there on the right is your Bitcoin address. That's kind of like your email address, but for Bitcoin. And all you do is just copy and paste that long string of numbers, and then it's safe for you to go ahead and send that to somebody, and then they're already going to know what to do. You don't have to teach them what to do usually. And they're going to copy and paste it, and they're going to send it to you. And so that is how people send you cryptocurrency. So this is how you receive cryptocurrency, is by giving people that address. So I liken it to kind of like your email address, okay? Now let's click on buy. Now this is really cool, okay? You can enter in a dollar amount, or you can enter in the Bitcoin amount. So watch, let's enter in like, okay, $98. Okay, then see down there, it'll show you $98 is 0.00190481 of a Bitcoin. And this screen refreshes, I believe, something like every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes, because the price is always changing. Could be even as quick as every 15 seconds, but you'll notice that the price is changing. And that's just because, Bitcoin's open 24/7. It's not like the Forex market. So also it works the other way. If I'm really crypto savvy and I type in the crypto amount, then it'll show me the dollar amount. So they just do that to make it easy because some people think in dollars and some people think in crypto. So it's always going to convert it for you. Okay. Now, also you'll notice it's really super transparent. You can see the send fee, $2.94. Now, with a lot of these other exchanges, and I don't want to use any of the names when I'm talking about this part of it because I don't want to put any of them down. They've got a model, we've got a model, and what they do is, it looks like you're paying one price for your crypto. Let's say, for example, you buy one Bitcoin, and so you think you got a whole Bitcoin. Then later you check your wallet and you got 0.9999, and you didn't really get a whole Bitcoin because they baked their fee in and pulled it out of your crypto. Sometimes they'll take the fee and they'll put it up front. Typically, the major exchanges are going to charge anywhere between 4 and 9%. Why 4 to 9%? It's a scale, and it changes based on how much crypto you're purchasing. The average Bitcoin purchase is about $200 to $250. But when you purchase Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, anything under $100, they're usually charging you like 9%. That's a lot. So you buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, and you only get like $90 a Bitcoin or $91 a Bitcoin. So with us, that's not going to happen. It's an average of something like 0.5% to 3%, somewhere around there with this platform, whereas the other major exchanges are like 4% to 9%. And again, when you look at their price, you're looking at their price without that. Okay, now there's another thing called the spread that I think it would be a good thing to talk about and help you guys understand what the spread is. I want you to think of the price of Bitcoin like market price, or in the industry, we call it spot, okay? So the price of Bitcoin, let's say, is $10,000, right? When you buy Bitcoin from an exchange, they're going to charge you something like $10,100. When you sell Bitcoin, they're going to give you something like $9,900. The difference between the price that you're buying it for and the price that you're allowed to sell it for, that's called the spread. And so what you're looking for on any exchange, a gold exchange, crypto exchange, is you want to have a narrow spread. You don't want to be buying it for $10,300 and selling it for $9,600. The wider the spread, the more money the exchange is making off of you. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about this platform is it's got great pricing, very narrow spread, and all of the fees are very upfront and transparent. So you always know what you're getting and you always know what you're paying. And I think that speaks volumes about the platform, which is really nice. Okay, now go to sell. Bitcoin price going back up, almost back up to 50. Oh, go. Okay, so here the same. You can type in the Bitcoin amount that you want to sell or the US dollar amount that you want to sell. And this to me is probably like the highlight of the whole entire platform is instant liquidity, okay? If you want to write this down, what this platform really offers is on-ramps and off-ramps to your liquidity, okay? Being able to get to crypto fast, being able to get to cash fast, being able to switch back and forth. And there's a whole bunch of benefits to that. Like, for example, let's say some college kid doesn't have money for rent. Imagine that, right? And he needs to sell some cryptocurrency. He needs to sell some Bitcoin. He sells $500 of Bitcoin on the 29th or the 30th, hoping he'll have that money for the 1st to pay rent. But it takes usually 3, 4, 5 days, sometimes 2 days, sometimes 7 days, because the exchange and the bank have to communicate because it's not the same company. And so everybody wants to make sure they don't get ripped off, right? So when you sell Bitcoin on the major exchanges, you're usually going to have to wait anywhere between 1 day, it could be 7 days. If you sold $1 million of Bitcoin, it could take up to a month, right? And so with this platform, because the accounts, the US dollar and the crypto, same company, same platform, the liquidity is instant. So you sell your cryptocurrency and minutes later, we have to wait for the transactions, to perform on the blockchain, confirm on the blockchain, but that could be really quick. And then the money will instantly be in your account and then you can pull it out. I had a friend visiting from Canada and we went to a restaurant and he was like, man, he's like, I really need some cash. He's like, could you sell $1,000 of Bitcoin and then pull the money out of the ATM and give it to me? And I was like, yeah. So he sent me $1,000 of Bitcoin and I cashed it out, and then I was able to go to the ATM, pull it out, give it to him. He's like, "Oh my God, you're a lifesaver. I would have been without cash for like 5 days." And I was like, "Yeah, you should probably get the platform yourself." And so he will. Instant liquidity. And that works the other way too, which is really cool. Sometimes you want to buy Bitcoin and send it to somebody, but like I've bought Bitcoin on the major exchanges, and the Bitcoin shows on the exchange, but it's not available yet because they're still waiting for funds to confirm from the bank. So you've bought Bitcoin and it's sitting there on the platform, but you can't trade it. You can't do anything with it. You can't send it off to anybody. With this, when you buy the Bitcoin, it's available immediately. You can send it to a Nano S Ledger. You can send it to a Trezor. You can send it to a friend. You can pay bills with it. You could go online. I can't wait until Amazon.com starts accepting Bitcoin. I think they will pretty soon. Did you guys notice Apple Pay now accepts it? And then we got Elon Musk buying $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. And a few other famous people, billionaires, have bought large amounts of crypto. I mean, it's all happening. So that's the sell tab. Now click on send. I'll show you guys how to send crypto. Okay, so remember the address that you saw earlier? Somebody needs to send you that address. You're going to copy and paste it, and you're going to enter it right there where it says to address. And then where it says beneficiary, this always confused me when I first got my account, because in America we use a little bit different terminology, and this is a private bank in London. Beneficiary is who is benefiting, who's getting the money. So of course that would be Chris Baum. Everybody loves sending him Bitcoin. That's my favorite thing to do when I wake up in the morning. And then your reference, because Chris is awesome. Why else? Because he runs the show over there, because I am awesome. So this is how you send people cryptocurrency. It's really easy to do. The first few times you do it, you're going to be so scared, and you're going to be like, "Oh my God, did I do it right?" And that's another great thing about Akashx is like you have an upline who benefits from helping you. I can't tell you how many people go online and just get scammed and lose coin, or even not scammed, but they get locked out of their accounts. I mean, like when you're new, just jumping into the crypto world, you could lose your password, you could get locked out of an account, you could get scammed, you could just not know what you're doing and get lost, and it's a little confusing. And so one of the great benefits about Akashx is being able to have somebody walk you through it, have webinars like this. You guys could message me on Facebook and I'll do my best to answer your questions. But I would say that Akashx is very bullish on support, and I think that's going to be a big part of Akashx's success. Okay, so then go down to your reference. Your reference is it's like memo. Think of it that way, okay? It's what is it for? Because I remember when I first started buying and selling and sending and receiving lots of cryptocurrency, I just saw this string of numbers. I never knew what it was sent for, what I was getting it for. So it's really super helpful to have that your reference right there where you can type in, exactly what it was for. So, okay, that's the crypto tab. Now let's go to concierge. And concierge, being very bullish on support. I keep trying to read all your messages, but I can only read half of them, but they've all been very good so far, okay? Concierge is, again, this is one of those things that you really don't think you need, or you're like, what would I use that for? But it comes in helpful so many times, like Valentine's Day, I was able to send flowers, or it was just, my girlfriend's daughter's birthday, and I was able to have them organize the whole party and send cupcakes with little unicorn stuff. And it was just so nice for me to not have to worry about that. I renewed my driver's license through the concierge. They found motorcycle parts for me. They've booked flights for me. They'll help you find the best deal. Sometimes you're busy and you're like, I don't have time for this. I hate doing small stuff. And so the concierge can do some really cool stuff. Now, granted, there's going to be limitations. They can't wash your car. They can't babysit your kids. There's physical things they can't do your grocery shopping. Would be nice, but just try to be creative and think like anything digital, booking travel, shopping for the best deal. And I can't wait to hear the stories, but yeah, they can do some really cool stuff and they're very, very helpful. Once you get to the higher level cards, then you actually get a person that you can call. Like I've become really good friends. My guy is D Murdy. He's in Manhattan and he's ordered so many things online for me that don't even get shipped to Colombia. So they get shipped to his house and then he ships it to me. And the guy has just been freaking awesome. So, once you get up into those higher level cards, the level of service is, I feel like a celebrity. It's so cool. Okay, now go down to shopping. And this is actually, we changed the name from product procurement to shopping because most people don't know what product procurement means. But if there's something that you want and you don't know what it is or what it's called, you can type in the description. They'll help you find it, buy it, send it to your house. Again, it's kind of like a service for celebrities. And it is cool. I've used it a few times and they've helped me find things that I wasn't quite sure what it was or where it was or how to get it. And so that's what that is. And then the last tab, instant rewards. And instant rewards, this pays for the platform many times over. If anybody's wondering like, oh gosh, why do I have to pay for the platform? I always think of it as kind of like, we're like the Costco of crypto. You know, yeah, you got to pay for a membership and you pay the monthly, but in the long run, you end up saving so much and not getting ripped off. And I think that's what people really like about this platform is, you know, yeah, you're going to pay a little bit upfront for the membership, a little bit monthly, but you're going to get narrower spreads, less fees, and you're going to get the convenience of having the card piece, the banking piece, and the exchange piece all under one roof. So everything's faster, smoother, and cheaper. You know, that's really the main selling point. But this instant rewards, the reason this is here is kind of like, you know, Platinum American Express has great customer service and they've got a great cashback program and they don't have a concierge necessarily, but they've got really good customer service. This was all designed to kind of resemble that, but be better. And so if you check out the discounts that you get at these stores, or I shouldn't call it discounts because technically it's an instant reward, but look at Adidas, for example, 11% all the time. And so you just go online, go to Adidas, find what you want, find out exactly how much it is. Let's say you're getting a pair of shoes and it's $150. Then you click on Adidas, like go ahead and hit select for Adidas. And you buy a coupon for the exact amount of what you want to purchase. Because how I used to do it is I would go in here and I'd buy like a coupon for $200 and then I'd buy a pair of shoes for $180 and I'm like, crap, I got $20 left over. So now what I like to do is I actually like to go to the vendor first, find out exactly what the price is. Then I come back here and right there where it says $20, you can type in the exact amount that you want and you purchase the coupon. Then you go back to Adidas and when it says checkout, it says gift card, and every major, I think every company in the world has this section when you check out, promo code or gift card. Not promo code, type it into gift card. You're gonna get like a 16-digit number and a 4-digit PIN, a 19-digit number. You copy and paste that, and then what happens is you make the purchase, instantly you get 11% cash back into your Akashx account. And it's so cool once you actually do it. I've done it with Domino's, Adidas, Banana Republic, and the discounts range anywhere from like 3 to 15%. I think Amazon.com's 3%, Adidas is 11%, I think Domino's was 7%. I think there's like 2,000 stores, so I can't memorize all of them. But if you guys shop at home and you like saving money, you'll save hundreds of dollars a month just with this instant cashback rewards program. And it blows the other card companies out of the water. When you look at like, well, I don't want to say the names of the cards, but when you look at these other crypto cards, all great companies, okay, they typically will offer somewhere between 2 and 6% cash back. But to get up to the 4, 5, and 6% cash back, you have to stake coins, which means you have to give them cryptocurrency and they lock it up for 6 months. Then you get rewards. With us, you don't have to do any staking, and the rewards go all the way up to like 13, 14%, maybe as high as 15%. So we're like double or triple, and you don't have to do the staking. So that is the cliff notes on the Akashx platform, and maybe I could answer a few questions. I see we've got 26 people typing different things in. We've got a couple things there in the Q&A, but I'll hand it over to Chris for a second.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and drop in your questions, guys. Thank you, Cliff. You always masterfully walk us through the different ways that we can take full advantage of it. So drop your questions in here. Cliff will select some of those, and let's get some questions answered for you guys.
Yeah, give me the really hard questions. Like when you guys are out there talking to people, like what's the biggest objection that you're getting? You know, because objections aren't objections. Objections are directions. That just tells us where to focus. So I love, the worst is when you get some stone face, right? Like the objections are great. It means they're interested. So yeah, what kind of objections have you guys been getting? The biggest one I get is, you know, I went to Coinbase and it looked like Bitcoin was cheaper. And, you know, the way that I handle that objection is just with, you know, clarity and truth and honesty is if you actually fulfill that purchase, what you'll notice is at the end, you're not getting as much Bitcoin as you thought. or at the very end, they're going to add in a fee. Very similar to when you book a hotel at Expedia or Orbitz and it looks like such a great deal and you're online and you're like, oh man, I can't believe it. Then all of a sudden there's a $40 resort fee and there's all these other taxes and they just make up fees. And so the exchanges and banks are really good at baking in, hiding, and moving around fees. And so a lot of times you think you're getting a great price. I recently just bought a Bitcoin through the platform, and I got it for $600 less than what I would have paid on one of the major exchanges. So you just got to remember that, the fees get baked in a bunch of different places. Okay. That's the question I would want answered.
Yeah,
Most of the questions I'm getting are, what's Noelle saying?
let's see. She said, most objections I am getting are from people who are scared of cryptocurrency, like their money will be less safe and protected in this form. So that's the biggest objection that Noelle's facing.
Got it. Well, let me answer that one. That's a great question. So I was in an Uber recently and this guy's like, crypto sounds so cool. I just don't get it. Like I can't touch it. And I go, well, how does the money work on your credit card? And he's like, I guess the same. I was like, yeah. What about the money in your checking account? When you wire money to someone in London, do you think they're actually sending the money or do you think it's just numbers on a screen? And he goes, oh my gosh, I guess it's just numbers on a screen. I'm like, it's really not that different. When people say that they're worried about Bitcoin, here's what I would say. The value of $1 is nothing other than our belief. Since I believe 1969, when Nixon took us off the gold standard, paper, that's why it says in God we trust. There is absolutely no value in the US dollar other than our own perception. In fact, if the oil industry stopped trading in the US dollar, I imagine the US dollar would fall apart completely. So the only thing that makes the US dollar valuable is our trust and our faith in the system. It's not backed by gold anymore. And so with cryptocurrency, you could say the same thing about Bitcoin. Well, what's backing Bitcoin? My answer would be blockchain and technology. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. It's a better monetary system. But I would say this also, there's risk in everything. Look at Venezuela. Their cash dropped through the floor. And so believe it or not, there's a lot of people all over the world that are starting to trust Bitcoin even more than their nation's currencies. And so is there risk involved? Of course. Is there risk holding the dollar? Yeah, of course. It could go down also. I mean, look at Venezuela. Look at Zimbabwe. It costs like 10 million Zimbabwe dollars to buy a loaf of bread. And so it's interesting. 11% of all the Bitcoin purchases across the world are happening in Colombia. And I think a lot of the reason is people are scared that governments are collapsing, with the politics that we have right now, Democrat versus Republican, black versus white, mask or no mask, Chris no hat, Cliff hat. I mean, people are fighting over everything these days. And so what you see is like, as the world fights more, people, believe it or not, are actually turning to cryptocurrency as a better store of value. If you look at cryptocurrency as an investment, Bitcoin, since 2008 when it started, it's kicked everyone's butt. It's done better than real estate, better than stock, better than gold. It's exciting. But again, never invest more than you can afford to lose. Don't treat it as like your Hail Mary pass to save your life. But I think a lot of times we go out and we spend $500 on something dumb to make ourselves feel better because we're really not happy about our life. And that's the money that I would be investing into cryptocurrency, with or without this platform. So sorry, that was a long answer.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
That was a good answer.
I try.
No, that was good. That was good. Well, I think overcoming objections. I mean, it is new to a lot of people, and when we come into these calls, at the beginning we said reasons reap results. So, what were the reasons for you guys coming here today? For I think the most of us, it was to learn, right? And so we talked about the misconception where people are like, "Hey, I can't get into this because I have to spend 45,000 to get one coin for Bitcoin, or 40,000, or whatever it is at that time." You're able to come in and start off with $200, which Cliff, that's how you started out. So, again, as we go through these, remember, hey, we came here, we learned something great. Now that we learn that knowledge, what's next? Who are we going to share it with? Who can we talk with? If you guys aren't already part of this amazing platform, today is the day to take action on that. Introduce other people to what you have learned today. Invite them to come to these webinars so they can learn about the powerful capabilities of the Akashx platform. So this is a good tool for you guys to use as well. If you guys don't recall what those price points are, let me just share my screen. We have 3 join options. You can come in as a builder, you can come in as a director, or you can come in as an executive. So what are the differences? You see those check marks there. Today we talked about today we talked about the DigiBank. So if you look at the DigiBank, where does the DigiBank fall? That falls under the executive. You don't have to start there. You can come in as the builder, and you can have a guide to cryptocurrencies where you can learn more about that function and what does it do, and what are the different types of cryptocurrencies out there. Really just get some information so you add tools to your toolbox. So these are the 3 options. Again, what did you guys learn? For me, I learned that you can come in and you can invest with just $200. It's a good place to start. All right. Who are you going to share it with? Who's coming to your mind? Who have you talked about cryptocurrency, or who do you think would be interested about this? And ultimately, right, give them the information to help them so they can have a more educated understanding of saying, hey, you know what? I've always been kind of interested. What are the joining options? Or invite them to this webinar, because Cliff is phenomenal at walking us through how you can take full advantage of this. So just want to leave you guys with that. Learn, share, help. Cliff, is there anything you want to add to that, my friend?
No, actually, isn't it funny? We say no, and then we go ahead and add something. Yes, there is something I want
Yes, you do want to add something.
Why do we do that? Or it's like when someone says, how are you? And we go, nothing. We're not even listening. I wanted to add one thing. Somebody said, I keep hearing it's not regulated. That's a great question. So here's the thing is, the government is struggling with how to label cryptocurrency. Like, what is it exactly? Is it property? Is it a currency? Is it a security? And that's been an ongoing struggle. So is it regulated? The answer is yes, partially, not fully. And that's going to keep evolving and changing. And we all have to watch the news. You've got like the Bitcoin Jesus people that want no regulation. And I understand that. I kind of feel that way too. It would be nice. But at the same time, you're not going to get the mass adoption without the regulation. So there has to be like a happy medium. So I'm for regulation because you don't want people getting taken advantage of. But too much regulation, then we're going back to a centralized system where the whole point of cryptocurrency is decentralized, peer-to-peer, without the bank in the middle eating up all the fees, okay? So the answer to that is, yes, it is partially regulated. More regulation is coming, and that's healthy, but we don't want to see too much, or we get back to somebody else having all the power and the control.
Awesome. Thank you, Cliff. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in with us here today. We're back tomorrow with another Akashx on social trading. That's going to be tomorrow, same time. And then, of course, we'll be back here with Cliff next Monday, same time. So have an amazing, amazing Monday, and have a blessed week. And we will chat with you all soon. Thanks for tuning in.
Awesome, man. Chris, you're the best. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Cliff. Bye, everyone.